Hello, how you doing this Friday evening? Let's get in here and pray. I want to apologize in advance. They're doing some more work outside tonight, but tonight, on top of doing all the machinery, they have some radio work as well, so that is loud. So I apologize in advance, but we're gonna just keep going, okay? Okay. I ain't gonna lie and say I didn't have a moment about that a few minutes ago. Okay, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I had a moment a few minutes ago. I was like, come on, God. Then I said, Renetta, you know what? Just keep going. I said a few a few words, but I'm gonna keep going. Thanking God for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91, you place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left-hand side, and 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form. But I have the breakthrough formula from Jesus' stove and Arumala. They left it behind. And look, God said, everybody come to the table. Because God never blocked anybody. That was man that did that, to put us in labels and all of that. God didn't put us in labels. He just said, come as you are. And I walk in it instead of fussing about what it looks like, just saying, okay. I ain't gonna lie and say I wasn't talking to God like, what we doing? Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4. I think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep my mind stayed on God, God will keep me in perfect peace. No, it don't make sense. It don't make not a bit of sense. But it makes faith, because what I have faith in, I'm going to believe. And what I believe, I'm going to act on. And what I act on, I'm going to see happen in the spirit realm before it happens in this realm. Okay? This realm been changed so many times, and there's so many people trying to rule the world, Ren and Stimpy, that we don't know. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts, you're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me, and I am you. You place a small allspark in my heart, and I'm so thankful, because, honey, let me tell you, God told Jeremiah, in Jeremiah 1:5, he said, I knew thee before you entered your mother's womb. And if God tells it to one, he'll tell it all. God ain't like man, how he tell you apart, and then tell God don't do that. God tell everybody the same story. And the thing is, God is not an aspect of love. God is love. God places himself inside of our heart. It's like the little Grinch heart, okay? And it's up to us how we use it. It could be a foot. It could be 40 feet. It could be 100. It could be 400 feet. It could be 1,000, 2,000 feet. It is based on how you use it. You can't get jelly or envious of someone else when you're looking at them, because you don't know what they're going through to make sure they light shine. You have no idea what some people go through just to have their light to shine. Okay. So let's not judge. Let's not hold the people down. Okay. With the words that come out of our mouth, make sure we're speaking life and not death. Because whatever we put out there gonna come back to us. Okay. I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say I ain't shed some tears in the bathroom, because I did, because I was putting myself together. Because that's what you do when you're working hard to keep going, but there's so many things just trying to stop you. Your tears come so you can release some weight so you can keep going. Oh my God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for being Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods. He made all this stuff to put between us and God. God said he don't have no problem with it, because he gave us the idea for it. He said, but don't you want to come to the Creator before you go to the creation? Because the creation is going to hoodwink you. They're going to bamboozle you. They're going to lie to you. And if you ain't ready for yourself, you're going to get played out here in these streets. God just want a one-on-one relationship with us. God sent Elijah to a certain brook, then he sent him to another brook, then he sent him to another brook, and then he sent him to another one. God had more than one brook for Elijah. Why you think he only got one for you? That's somebody trying to control you. And we all got a portion of control in us. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God, your name is higher than any name that is on this earth or the universe. If it can be conjugated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, God is higher than that. And then guess what? If I think of something, you think of something, we try to tell each other, God is hiding that because it's going to be in a sentence. Or it's going to be in a paragraph, which is a bunch of sentences and punctuation. God is hiding that. There's nothing we can do about it. Jehovah Jireh, my provider, there is no lack. There's only provision. You're more than enough, and you supply all I need. I'm worthy because I exist, and I exist because I'm worthy. There's nothing that you will ever withhold from me. James 1:3-5. You are my source, not the things on the outside of me. You will use people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north, as above, so below, not from the east, west, and the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. It's based on my frequency and my energy, which is key. If God is here and I'm over here, and God say, "Come to me as you are," every time I get up and I change I go to somebody, I'm changing my perspective. Make sure they work it. If not, cut them cords and keep it moving. Jehovah Rapha, my healer, you heal my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit. You heal so much of me. Today, the energy was so strong, but I still got my workout in. And I made sure I stretched afterwards, too. Ooh, it was good. It was good. It was good. Yeah, I put on my boxing gloves this morning. I needed that. I needed to just fight the air. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. There's no getting even and arguing with people. They know what they did. You know what they did. Just send all that negative energy to the Creator, ask the Creator to cleanse and purify. And then you take that cleanse and purify energy, you send it back to the sender, cleanse and purify. No blocking their path, no stopping their path, no matter what they done. Because we have cause and effect, sowing and reaping, and corresponding action out here in this place. That means whatever you say, think, or do is a seed. And seeds turn into trees, and they can be good or bad. Okay, depending on how you put it out there. Okay. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out, and I don't have to stress about it. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight. I choose my battles properly, and I leave it in God's hands. Ain't no fussing and no stressing me out. And so it will be, and so to be, and so it will be forevermore. Okay. Child, I was releasing a lot of stuff today. Child, releasing and crying. But you know what? Some days that's what it is. Some days to release, you shedding tears. Look at the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. No matter what your background. Let's look at this right here. Let's do an excerpt. 102. Be at peace, I'm on the move, and I'm opening doors that no one saw coming. Stay in faith and walk with me into the promised land. You know a breakthrough is at the door because you can feel it. Come on, God love you. I love it when I just be opening this up and just reading stuff and reminding myself how good God is. Regardless of what's going on around you, sometimes you just got to remind yourself. And then don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those books are shadow activity books. I didn't see any on the market. God said, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So you get a word of knowledge and you get an exercise. It's because I believe if you're going to work on your shadow, which is already hard work, can we have a little bit of fun? I know it's going to be a little difficult, a little bit, but can we have a little bit of fun? That's all I'm saying. And your exercise is going to have you running around the house at least 3 times. It's kind of spread around in the book. And then you get shadow question. Not so nice because it's going to cause you to look right in your face like, okay, asking you deep questions. And then you're going to get a color page. God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10 because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. And don't blame the adults in your life because they didn't know how to protect you because nobody protected them. Yes, they could have used their instincts. They could have used that. But you know what? They lost so many heroes in their life. They just didn't even have the bandwidth to do it. They were just done. They were done. Okay. So just give them a reprieve. And if you need to, like I've had to, just separate. Don't, why we fussing for? That's wasting energy. Okay. And then by the age of 7, it's solidified in the system. By the age of 10, it is really in the system. By the age of 21 and 25, it is now your responsibility to walk out because now you are considered an adult. And when we turn 21 and 25, we think we know everything and can't nobody tell us nothing until we smell it ourselves. And by that time, it's a little too late. And then we get 4 pages, 22 chapters per book. You get 4 pages of drawing, sketching, doodling, plan, write down your ideas, your visions, and whatever. Why? Because the closer you get to God, you're gonna start having moments that's like Stranger Things, X-Files, confirmation bird, Twilight Zone. Stuff is just gonna happen, and you're not gonna have an answer for it. Things are just gonna get really weird, how they did on The Incredibles. Somebody needs to come and get Junior because it's getting really weird. Okay, you're gonna look up. That's one of my favorite movies. You're gonna look up at the billboard. It's gonna say something. You're gonna take a picture. A person gonna be standing right there with you when you do it, and they still gonna say you trying to play with their mind. They can be with you as you seeing it on the van, and they can be seeing it too, because you could both be talking. All of a sudden, you see it, you take a picture. They like, wait a minute, don't say the same thing, and then they say you did something, didn't you? People that are not spiritual, you cannot explain spiritual stuff to them because they won't get it. Okay, and then don't forget about my other two books that are already on New York Times bestseller list: Influence and Impact with Chris Voss, and Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. God is good and His mercy endures forever. That's all I can say. Woo! I'm still standing. That's all I can say. Glory be to God. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help in meditating, recalibrating the mind. Ain't nothing like a grown-up coloring. You hear me? You start humming, and they help your vagus nerve. You start humming. You'll see the link to the podcast of the Women Leveling Up that was done in May. And then you'll see, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how happy I was this morning. I was just on the cover of a magazine and didn't even know what was happening. I got the email. And I just happened to be doing meditation, and then I heard, look at your phone. And I was like, for what? And then I looked at my phone, it was like, here's your link. We put it up this morning. They put it up at 4:15 a.m. Do you know how hard they was working? Child. It was beautiful too. Child, let me tell you, I was in magazine September, October, December, January, and February. I put a link to my own personal bookstore. Oh, God is good. I'm excited about this new venture. You know why? Because I have a lot of stuff on Amazon. I got a whole catalog. But on my special store, it's how to fight them deep, dark, biggest Thanos things in your life. Okay. You need some help, just reach out. Them things that you don't tell nobody about. Them things that you gotta walk the path. You don't get that. And I haven't never taught that stuff up here. That's the stuff where you get to teach somebody. They have to be going through it right then. Because if you teach it, they be like, this ain't gonna never happen. Okay. There are some freebies there just for you. I added a link of 105 spiritual laws. There's 7 in the Kabbalah book. In the initial book, they was expecting you to just stop that. And they wasn't expecting you to do no more research. But then I messed around and seen there was another book with 12. And I said, wait a minute, something's off. They can't be 12 and 7. They got to be more than that. Find out there's 105 spiritual laws. But pause. We are no longer underneath the Mosaic law. We are now underneath love and grace. When Jesus came, you could say he was a prophet. You could say he was an archetype. You could say whatever you want. But when I say his name, not Yeshua, not Yeshua, and when I say Jesus, them demons and them devils and whatever entity is going on in people, them suckers start showing out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be politically correct. I'm working on, when I say it, they get to stepping. You see, I don't care what you say. Do you know the spirit behind it? That's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying. Does the spirit behind it know who you are when you open your mouth? They know who I am. Okay, let's get in here. And so, Jesus said, he broke it down. He was, and the best way I can explain it is this. When Judas betrayed Jesus, did you see Judas anymore? You know why? Judas took himself out. But do you see him anymore? Okay, there you go. Woo! Whatever level you on, you find your Judas, you put them suckers up out your life. Because guess what? Every level, you get at least 1 to 3 on every level. Don't be sitting adding up them things. And then when you get there, they be jerking you in the back like you in prison. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then Jesus said, the disciples said, how many times will I forgive my brother? 7 times? Jesus said, no, 7 times 7. That's 490 times for the same thing. You know what? It feel like that because you going up in a cyclical manner. So as you going up and you're ascending, you're going to see the same stuff you seen when you first got in here. I mean, every second of it, you're going to see it as you're growing. Because it's going to come back at a different level. It's not the same thing. It's not a new level, new devil. It's the same thing. It's just on a new level because that's where you stepped at. Honey. Woo! And then Jesus broke it down. He said, forgive me of my debts as I forgive my debtors. So you always forgive yourself first because you don't forgive them before you forgive you. That is false humility. So you forgive yourself first. God, I forgive myself because I didn't know what I was doing. I was following what I saw. So I forgive myself and then you forgive them. I'm not forgiving them for them. I'm forgiving them for me. Because if I don't forgive the person who hurt me, I can't go any further. My feet are in quicksand. I'm getting snatched down, okay? Or I'm in cement. And if I'm in cement, that means they can get a hold of me. And if getting a hold of you, now you in utter darkness. There's weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now you understand what Jesus was talking about every time he said weeping and gnashing of teeth. Because if you can't move, they can get a hold of you. And now you in utter darkness without help until you choose to forgive. And then there's grace, God's willingness to get involved with human affairs, where God will reach down and grab you up. If you're anything like me, I say, God, when I get down here like this, and I'm doing something in deep cover, and I don't forget who I am, reach down and get me. God says, say less, because I don't put too much in you. Just like we have the 10 Commandments. It's really 613 Commandments. You want to see them all, get the Torah, the Tanakh, or the Chumash. I promise you, when you get it and you put it towards the Old Testament, your eyes is going to be like, what is going on? Because that's how mine were, okay? And it allows you to study more. And it allows you to see more than what you've seen. Okay? Because once you see it, you can't say you didn't see it. Alright? And then, and then on top of that, God told the Israelites, there's no way possible you can keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life without me. They said, yes, we can. Us and our children. So that's how we got in it the first time. Then the fifth time, they don't know how to be quiet. I was just like, hush, man, you casting checks. And you ain't going to be here to pay it. So, and then the fifth time they said it, the king said, who you want to release, Jesus or Barabbas? And they said, Barabbas. Barabbas is a serial killer. I'm talking about Ted Bundy out here in these streets. Okay, and they talking about, we want Barabbas. We just got him locked up. Y'all want him out? Okay. So the king said, well, I washed my hands of this. I ain't got nothing to do with it. They said, don't worry about it. Put it on us. Us and our children. The wonderful thing is Jesus took care of it. The other side of it is 180 AD and 280. They took the books of those Bibles out. They burned all them churches down. But see, they didn't know that the Ethiopians had found the clay jars and all that stuff in that cave and put it in one of their churches. And see, they was never overthrown. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm going at? That's where you get your apothecary from. Child, let me tell you something. I'm so glad that they were never controlled and never had a chance to get in colonialism or imperialism with that neck roll. Let's get it. I love it, honey. And then say, in 100 AD and 200 AD, what's his name, Lord Henry with the Catholic Church took that stuff out because see, they were trying to control the populace. They turned it into an organization. So, see, Jesus called it the way. Or Yeshua, however you want to call it. They called it the way. And so that's why the people that teach the word without the religion component, we're called way showers. You see that? You see how that works out? Nah, you get it. Jesus didn't come here to show you how to be a Christian. Jesus came here to show you how to open up your mind to see life differently and see how God sees it. So you can pull a 5D and 17D all the way down to us. And start spending more time in the presence. I was talking to myself before I got on. That's why I'm shaking my head because there were so many things that happened before I got on. Okay? I'm talking to God about something. Woo! Because see, we know everything, but we don't know anything. And that keeps us from attachments as we go to each level and lesson. So you can release people and things, because last night before going to bed, I released so much stuff, and I was just crying. I think I cried myself to sleep, but it's okay. I learned that, I taught that by Jesus, Thoth, and Ishu, who is an Orisha, who works with Ifa, or Yoruba. Okay. Don't forget about your Adjective PDF along with your 400 Vase PDF. You put them things together, change your whole Sims character. This is Jacob Promoter, Sims Game Now. I apologize to Kanye West. He was not crazy. Everybody that you thought was crazy and you thought it was a conspiracy, go back and listen to their story again. Don't forget to sign up for the newsletter, the juicy updates and the upcoming events. Look at my link for the school app. Come on and visit with me. Come and see my page. I got things together. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who of 2025, Influential Women of 2025, and Women's Worldwide. God was bringing it and I was receiving it. Look what I received in 2017. Okay, I was doing work with women and teenage girls to bring them out of sex trafficking. And I had people that was assisting me, but then they went to assist someone else that had a bigger name than me, and God said, let it go. Keep doing what you're doing. I said, say less. Then I was helping teenage girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI or pregnant, and their families kicked them out. I said, we in the wrong state for that. I'm constantly bringing girls out of sex trafficking. Don't do that right there. I don't know if they're going to be gone. They tell me, what? I said, don't worry about it. Give them to me. They can either stay where I'm at in this building or they can go to the building with the teens. Okay. They decided to go with the teens. Then I was helping out women that was in domestic violence. We lost 2 because they went back more than once, and everybody's addicted to something. People are addicted to cigarettes, and I seen women and men addicted to cigarettes, and they are smoking a cigarette with an oxygen tank. Okay. I don't want to go with you, boo-boo. Okay. And then I seen people that smoking weed go to the emergency room and they had nausea. They come back, they got medicine, and they still smoking weed. I seen people that go to gym and they go to the gym 3 to 5 times a day. I seen people working out 4 to 5 times a day. Everybody's addicted to something. I'm not finna judge nobody because that means I gotta judge myself too. Everybody has their own stick that they dealing with. Okay. Then I help people that lost everything in fires and floods, and people was coming from everywhere to get help. And because people knew I had a nonprofit, they was always giving me stuff. Somebody, this is the old couch, but it's really not that old. It's probably about 3 years. Child, I was cleaning up couches and everything, put them in storage, cleaning them up real good. Because I'm like, if I'm gonna give it to somebody, it's gonna have to be clean. Honey, come on now, cleaning it up and taking it on the vacuum cleaner and cleaning it out and making sure it was clean. Because if I'm gonna give it to somebody, it's gonna be cleaned up, and I'm gonna be a good steward of what I got. Okay. And then when people came, I said, how many rooms you need? They tell me, and I said, okay. Then I was giving them toiletries, and I gave them the female toiletries, and I was also giving them the fingernail polish removal. Why? Because once they calm down and come out of shot, they're going to be able to paint them nails. But you can't paint a nail and you shaking like this. That means you got to come out of your nervous system, rot, to relax and come into your body and settle yourself. Then you can paint your nails. There was a purpose behind it, okay? I had that medical school training about mental and public health, okay? Helping them to come down. And then I was putting out on social media that I wanted to assist people, and I needed to assist 2 families for the holidays. And this young lady reached out and said, I need help for Thanksgiving. I said, say less. I was excited. My budget was honey baked ham, and that's where I went. And then I went to the grocery store and got $150 worth of groceries and delivered it. I ain't never been so happy. Woo, I was so happy. Then I found out about other families because I just wanted to do good in the neighborhood, okay? It ain't meaning for it to rhyme, but it is. And then I found out that other families are going to it. I put their name in a bowl and pulled out 2 families with special needs kids, make sure their kids got 2 gifts for Christmas. They got to wrap it up. Then I gave them honey baked ham and also $150 worth of groceries. Then I went and then I said, I want to send some women to therapy. So I went and got a whole bunch of therapists together. And I said, I want to send some women to therapy. I went ahead and did a raffle, pulled names out live. And then I sent 2 women into 3 to 6 months of therapy. And I gave them a $250 or $150 worth of groceries. You can look at that at Refuge Women's Transition Center on my website. Or you can look it up. Go to the link www.rwt as in Tom, C as in Charlie.org. You see the things that I was doing with just me and God. And every time I pushed it back in there because that's what you do when you got a business and you don't have the support that you need. You are your support. And as long as you getting it, put it back in there. God is faithful and I'm thankful for everything. I truly am. Don't forget to look at the links to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use with all natural remedies for assistance during the diagnosis I received of breast cancer in 2017. I didn't take any cancer treatments, just all natural things in my backyard. 100% Silver Shield for my dietary needs and other things for my dietary needs. Child, let me tell you, them doctors try to bamboozle me, hoodwink me, and I said the devil is a lie. What you not gonna do is gaslight me and then try to cut me. Ain't nobody, that's crazy. You can let somebody gaslight you and then cut you? Not at all. That's, not with that sharp scalpel. Not I said the cat. So I said, I bind up every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every parasite, and I send it back to the pit of hell from whence it came, and I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God. To see, the thing is, as long as you speaking to your cells will regenerate. As long as you find ways to keep taking care of yourself in natural ways, your body will heal immediately if you take it to an alkaline state. They want you to put all this medicine in it, this plastics and all this stuff, and then it's gonna just mess up your system when you already fighting and you don't need that. Child, then I said I take full responsibility because I ate this food. Yeah, they poisoned the food, but I didn't know that. I didn't know that the tobacco companies had taken over and started doing our food supply, and now they using the same gunk they put into in the tobacco inside of our food. Who knew that? Who knew that? But it is true. Okay, look it up. And they say, what you doing? I said, I'm putting my order in, so when I come back with my testimony, you know what happened? Child, I went home and talked to God. God said, get you a naturopath. The doctor did it. And I pulled down everything the doctor said he said about being alkaline. Showed it to my naturopath doctor, because now we are a team. My naturopath doctor said, cool, beans. Okay, but 5 things on each side of this got to come off. And I said, say less. I got 145. Let's work with that. Then my ancestors pulled down that dandelion, pulled down that morning glory, and all right, and then that wild scallions, honey. If our ancestors live out this and they just leaving here, do you hear me? Our ancestors just leaving here at 85, 95. They centurions still living, and they was eating off the land. What? That's what they did, honey. They ate off the land like for real. Why can't we? Then poke salad looked like lettuce and cilantro had a baby together. They serrated around the edges. Child, I put it on top of that spinach. Underneath that jasmine rice. And that jasmine rice got up there and started wilting it, but it was still fresh. And that daggone chlorophyll went down in my system and did what it needed to do. Child, I was hitting that sucker with everything I got. I still keep green vegetables in the refrigerator. Why? Because them green vegetables fight. They help you fight. Honey. And then I was adding beets to my life. Beets, ooh, for your iron. Come on. It was either that or liver. And nobody finna do no liver. Nah, I'm not finna do no liver. I'm not made for liver. That's not my thing. I chose the beets. I pick up my own beets, pick up my own pickles. What? I was doing my own thing up in here. Saying I won't, but I was. Okay, child. I put seafood on the top. And then I found out that avocados and salmon is vitamin D to build up your bones and your, I said, well, come on in here. Child, you ain't gonna tell me I was living my best life because I was. Because I want to live. You gotta live. Psalms 91, 1-6 NLT. Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Come on here now. This I declare by the Lord. He alone is my refuge and is my place of safety and is. He is my God 100%. And remember, there is no sex in the spirit. So once you're in the spirit realm, you're divine feminine and divine masculine. And I trust him 100%. He will rescue me from every trap and did and still does. And protect me from every deadly disease and did and still does. He will cover me with his mighty feathers. He will shelter me with his mighty wings. God is faithful to his promises. Let me tell you something. God is faithful to his promises every single day of the week. But God will say, pause. There's something going on up this road, and I don't want you involved. So I'm going to send you the long way, and I'm going to give you a spiritual machete because you're the first one on this path. And make sure that you clear the path well, because there's people that's coming behind you. And see, I'm not going to let these people that's coming behind you disrespect you because they got an easier path because you went first and you had to take every hit. Talk to me, guys. Talk to me. Honey, and he said, don't worry about it, because the angel's going to go before you, making your crooked places straight, and I'm going to be your real guy, so keep it moving. I said, say less. And every time I say less, I be looking at God like, really do. My armor and my protection. I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night, or night terrors, of the bullets that fly at day. I do not dread the disease that stalks in darkness. Why? Because God, what did David tell us? Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, my rod and staff, who knew that my spine and shoulder to shoulder was my cross. Not an inverted cross. Be careful with that inverted cross. Because you just denied Jesus with that Be careful with that. Be careful with that. They got you doing a hand sign you don't know the whole truth to. Pay attention next time you do it. Child, honey, and it says, my cup runneth over. Jesus said, pick up your cross and follow me every day. Then it says, my cup runneth over. That means abundance in every area of my life. Every area. Nothing missing, nothing broken. Full peace and wholeness. Then it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Then Isaiah 53 says, God will send the angel to go before us and make the crooked places straight, and God is always our rear guide. Why? Being goodness and mercy, making sure that every day we get goodness and mercy every day of our life. And then on top of all of that goodness and mercy, we are always the house of the Lord. You know why? Because as long as we stay in the light here, we are the house of the Lord. When we leave this vessel, we are still the house of the Lord. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. Nor the disaster that strikes at midday. God is good all the time. God is good all the time. I want to say thank you to everyone that views my videos, and say thank you to all of my subscribers for your energy that you come and share to listen to the message. I send your beautiful energy back to you as you go throughout your day. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. It'll really help my channel. I truly appreciate you. Hand over your heart affirmation. I am not society script. I am my own definition. I am not of the system, but a flame from God's source. The divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. If I can't fix it in 15 minutes, it's out of my scope. And I let go of that attachment. I monitor the use of my own energy. Okay? If you don't monitor your energy, somebody is going to be trying to scope you out to get what you got, because they see how wonderful your life really is, even though you may not. Y'all, I had a morning. I woke up at 5:55, being on the clock, but I woke up a little earlier, but I don't remember what time it was. I just remember 5:55, being on the clock, and hearing how you fight and handle your day will be different from now on. And I said, what? And I get it now, because, man, woo! Some days you may use the old way of living in some days, but most days will require you to surrender to the process of that day to stay in the tandem with God. It's time to listen and feel your way with your intuition and things you learn along the path. Child, let me tell you, I was going with my intuition, and I said, wait a minute, there's something I'm supposed to be doing. And all of a sudden I got real quiet, and I said, oh, that's what it is. And then I tried to do it, child, everything in the world was fighting me. And I said, I'm going to get it done, whatever I got to do. I shed some tears, child, because I was trying to get it done, and it seemed like everything was fighting against me. I laid there for a minute to gain more direction for my day, and then it went silent. When I say it went silent, my left and right ear started ringing at the same time, because usually it's one or the other. They started ringing at the same time, and then it felt like I was in a cave. It was like, I was like, whoa, that's different. I said, that's different. I said, okay, let's learn this new way of life. Last night before going to bed, God took me down memory lane. At first, I was like, what you doing, trying to break me? And God said, no, to go higher, we get to lose more weight. And I was like, ugh. I was deleting duplicate photos in my phone, and God said, delete that too. I cried, of course. Then I deleted it to fully let go. Oh, there were some videos, y'all. There were some videos when my granddaughter was really small, and I used to babysit her by myself. And oh my God. I just say it was a breakdown. I was still tethered to what it was in the beginning and not what I saw at the end. That really hurt, but my freedom is better than holding on to what was and gripping to something that will never be the same ever again. They chose their path and I chose mine. It hurts when you birth them into the earth. I kept talking to myself and saying, this isn't just about you, Renetta. This is about the full planet of the people along with everyone that needs to complete their freedom in your lineage. It's not about you. So I turned to continue going on my hero's journey, even though my body was trembling, even though I had tears. Woo! When I say tears, I mean snotty tears, child. I mean that ugly cry, that type cry. Woo! Because I thought I'd release it, but it was like a whole nother level, and I was just like, ah! Symptoms, lots of tears, letting go of what was to go further, faster. It doesn't feel good, but it's also not just about me anymore. Y'all don't understand. I was trying to come back in here after walking Bella. Y'all, there was a grasshopper the size of my hand. I am not overreacting. This grasshopper was the size of my hand, and it was on the door. And at first I thought it was a praying mantis, and I was just like, alright. But then I looked and I said, oh my God, it's gonna jump on me. It was so huge. I said, please don't jump over Mr. Grasshopper. Please don't jump over Mr. Grasshopper. Please don't jump over Mr. Grasshopper. So, he didn't jump on me, but I jumped in the house. So, it was huging on the door, and the girly in me was just done. I was like, ah! And I had to sneak into the house, and it was huge. It was like the size of my hand, like really, like, oh my God. So my ears was ringing on and off all morning. And then it felt like I went into the cave, yeah. And I told myself, listen to your heart. It was like, it was just like that. And I was like, wait a minute. I ain't never heard nothing like that before. It was like, and it kept going, and I was just like, okay, where we going with? Where we going with? I woke up to a full magazine spread that I wasn't expecting. Surprise, I was on my front cover of a magazine this morning, y'all. I put it up there so y'all can see it. I was just wondering if 1.8 Africans were unalive making it to America during the transatlantic slave trade. Who do you think is causing issues in the ocean? That's our ancestors, baby. 1.8 million. I didn't say. I said 1.8 million. Who do you think is out there causing the trouble in the water? God's gonna trouble the water. Remember they used to sing that back then, Harriet Tubman? Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade. Child, who you think is out there shaking the ocean? Ah, they out there setting it loose, you hear me? Since you don't want to listen. Woo, our ancestors said, get it done and set things in order now. Man, I was like, let it go. We get to change the laws and completely change our health care is for all, as other countries have. That, cause right now we the last. I mean, how we supposed to be the biggest nation and we the last? We spending all this money on health care and we the last. I mean, we behind third world countries. Come on. We get the opportunity to do better. We can do this free health care and let's get it started. Well, we can go see our health care person every 6 months. And then we can pay for extra if we need to. I'm just saying, can we get a baseline? This will remove this pushing meds into treating with holistic care and meds and let the patient choose their processes and flow with them. No longer have departments anywhere in America that have no, I don't want no more, we don't need this no more, of departments anywhere in America that don't have checks and balances. It's time to hold everyone accountable for what they do. The spirit realm do. The spirit realm hold us accountable for what we say, do, and think. It's time to start holding everybody accountable. I had lots of issues today with my devices. They would just not work with me today. Not quite sure what the problem was. I posted a link of my podcast and the link so you can see it. Ooh, I was on the front cover of a magazine. I'm so excited. Also, what we gonna do about this thing about people in high levels thinking that they can get away with everything? We need to pass a law and put it in somewhere, in Congress somewhere, where if a sitting highest ranking person in our country commits laws, goes against the law, they no longer are untouchable. They are touchable. The minute you put your hands on somebody, you take a life, you are still a human being. The law still affects you too. We need to put it on the books, and it needs to be there. It needs to be there ASAP. Because what's going on is too much. We need checks and balances everywhere. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and see things in their own timing. It's hard when you love folks within their own timing, okay? Keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. Don't carry somebody else's battles and they weight and they burdens. Don't you fight nobody else's battle. That's not your job. Philippians 2:12. Don't you do that. Oh, I forgot to put down what I read today. James 1:19-21 NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger does not produce the righteousness God desires. You know what? The righteous anger said we need to do something and do it now. We need to put some stuff on the books, y'all. So get rid of all that negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has planted in our hearts. For it has the power to save our souls. This is our country. It is more of us than it is of them, and we need to put some stuff on the books. So it's time to start talking to your representatives and say, let's go. Verses like the Quran 17:53 and 4:148 highlight the importance of speaking kindly, avoiding slandering, gossip, and speaking the truth. 2:254 emphasizes that it's not for creation to question those that are under Allah, to question Allah's decisions because Allah knows better. It requires the believers to surrender to Allah's will, which is a message of faith and surrender to divine authority. The same thing we're doing with God. But you know, they put labels on stuff, so we fighting each other for what reason? Do we know who we really are? It's time that we get into our studies, whatever you're in. Pray, meditate, and find out who you are. And don't forget, I have my sessions, 2/26/26 at 7 p.m. Don't forget to sign up. The link is below. Be so secure that when things come to steal your joy, you bounce back quicker every time. You might have to shed some tears. You might cuss a little bit, but you bounce back and say, I'm in it to win it, daggone it. We ain't going nowhere. I'm still saying, because it's my birthright. And guess what? My birthright is abundance. Hey! I'm worthy of love. You know why? Because I'm a human. I came out of a human woman. Okay, it's my birthright because I came out of a womb. I'm worthy of the life I love. And if I don't like it, I can change it at any time. I don't need approval. I can change it how I want to. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. That is abundance in all areas of my life because my birthright is abundance. When you come out of the womb, you are abundant. I am worthy of the dream that is in my heart. It is in my heart. And if it's in there, you best believe it's coming to pass for me, and God is going, what? I release the timelines that's no longer for me. Let's talk about it. I'm not mad at you. I'm not angry with you. I don't have no animosity. I'm not jealous of you. I'm not envious of you. I don't have no issues with you. My thing is, you did what you did, and you thought I would just stay. I popped it. I cocked it, and I seen it, and I said, And when I said, God said, what you gonna do? And I said, well, I'm done. And God said, well, let it be. And I said, so it is. So guess what? I said nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you as you go on your way. I don't have nothing against you. But you did what you did, thinking I was going to keep taking it. Not I, said the cat. You go ahead and enjoy your best life. I pray God send labors into the field that you can hear and that you can listen to and that you can change your life. Otherwise, you probably going to be like this for the rest of your life, or this could be your covenant that you said that you wanted to remain the same. It's on you. You can change your life. You don't need approval. You can change your life whenever you want to. You don't have to stay the same. But I pray you find what you're looking for. Okay. Don't look over here, Mr. Wilson, because there ain't nothing to look, because I done put up a boundary. I release the timelines that require me to shrink. I won't be quiet so you can shine. The devil is a lie. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Boom, 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 this little light of mine. I have a mind and I have critical thinking. I'm finna use all of it. I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move in stillness. Stillness is what got me today. When I got that stillness, I heard, you forgot that right there. I said, oh! I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I am never alone. I have my ancestors, angels, and God. That's a threefold cord. It's not easily broken. I'm secure in knowing, even if I'm walking by myself, I'm never truly alone. Man, my ancestors jump out saying, woo-ah, woo-ah, like bust around. It's on you and your ancestors because y'all did something. I don't know what it is, but something happened. The angels always bring me something amazing that causes my heart to light up. It happened today. I wasn't expecting it, but it just popped up. I'm thankful. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, and sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. Love has 101 million ways to show how much you love it. I just call. Thank you, Stevie Wonder. People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. It is said, we usually don't do this. They just can't help it. I can't help it either. But if God say nope, my intuition say nope, and my ancestors say, I wish you would go over there, I am done. My hands is up. We can no longer walk together because we don't agree. Okay, you go your way, I'm going to go mine. I have miracles every day and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me because I am aligned. Child, once you start getting aligned with God, God start throwing stuff. You be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You be like a quarterback, throw it, and you be like, ah, you be like the running back, I'm going to get it. You don't know. I don't consider any energy control. I'm grounded, safe, and fully in control of myself, untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, clip, clip, cut, cut, okay, and burn, burns. And I sever every cord of connection. I am worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. If it's in here, I already know it's coming to pass. Because me and God is going in there. Tears and all. Because I'm going to find a way to keep going. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't have to fight for it. I don't have to be jealous of you. I don't have to be envious of you. I don't have to take nothing that belongs to you because mine is tailor-made to me. I am worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness at any moment. If I can see it from another perspective and change my mindset, child, the things that I can see. I saw this somewhere and I said, that's mine. All things come to me in perfect, mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. And if you win, I win. Because we gonna share it. Money comes back to me multiplied on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on everything that was spent, taken, and the stuff I don't even know that was taken. I'm willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. While I was having my moment, I cried. I never yelled at myself and told myself anything crazy. I said, we got this, Renetta. We can do this, Renetta. I know it's hard. Go ahead and cry. Get it out. But we're going to keep going. I saw this on Google. And I said, spices for everybody. Spices for everybody. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong to me from my energy field and I send it back to its rightful owner, cleansed and purified. No matter where we originally met, universe, world, timeline, dimension, realm, I sever the cord of connection. Space there, space words, space, snake, whatever. And the lessons have been learned and I release you to find your own way. And I call all my energy fragments back to me now. I am free. I am free. I am free. Honey, I'm like Magneto. What's mine is coming back home to roost, and I sent only good stuff out, so only good is coming back. I release all energies and traumas and patterns that are not in alignment with my highest good across all timelines, dimensions, and realms, and everything that's not incongruent with God that my ancestors had. Honey, I release it. And anything that they didn't claim that is still in this earth realm, it is mine, because I've done the work. I am free, I am free, I am free. I am free to live like I said. I sit in peace, but I trust the process, and I don't rush the process. Woo! Can we wait when it gets silent? I felt like Dusty Rose right there. Woo! I'm doing speaking engagements and podcasts that bring transformation. Signature topic. Helping visionaries and dreamers to reconnect, reinvent, go through the rebirth process, and rise with confidence. To get them to ground their dreams in the earth, to see them come to pass, and out of the spirit or imagination realm. Ephesians 3:1. God has given us all things to spiritually enjoy, and we get to pull down 5D and all the way up to 17D down to this earth to enjoy heaven on earth. I have courses and books that teach individuals how to return to themselves. Quiet the noise on the inside so you can hear yourself think. Live boldly on your own terms. I'm holding space right now for people who feel like they're repeating the same cycles over and over again. Also, tackling the sacred cows of religion and how we think the same, but labels keep us controlled and in fear. Okay, we're opening every door. Nothing is off limits to get totally free step by step. Write me in the comments or look for the links in the comments. Okay. Hello, my name is RenettaCheston, the owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC. Soul Igniter, Trauma Overcomer, Holistic Spiritual Strategist. I work with the whole being from my level of training in education, mind, spirit, soul, and body. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in healthcare to understand and comprehend mental and public health. If you have a public health problem, you got a mental health problem, and vice versa. Massage therapy and Reiki healing. Holistic practitioner, where we pull out all the impurities from the rooter to the tutor. Human design practitioner, where we go back to the beginning, find out what your purpose is, come back and sit down and start pulling out all that generational baggage and trauma. When I was given the task of having uncomfortable conversations with others, I knew then that my path would be different. And probably people will be a little standoffish until they've done a little teensy bit of their own work. But I didn't let that stop me. I started with me. I asked myself uncomfortable questions every day to get out of old patterns. I do the work every day, and it's not always easy or pretty. Like I was saying, I was in snotty tears today. But I wake up to confront the areas in me in love that need a facelift so I can go forward. What will you do? Are you working out, but on the inside you like a cesspool, or you like a cemetery? I'm just saying, look at yourself. Only you know who you are. I don't know who you are. You know who you are. What are you afraid of losing? Is it once you see that colonialism and imperialism is playing everybody? It don't matter. It don't matter about the color of your skin. Either your ancestors were the one getting played or you was playing with them. Everybody had their part in there. And now all of us get to make decisions to change this generational curse and pattern and this trauma of the past. We can be like Minnesota and say, yes, we got our racial stuff we need to deal with. But guess what? Because we love each other, we can step into that same energy we had in 9/11 and say, you know what? Because I love my country, it's time to change some of these stupid laws so we can keep going together and change this stuff instead of allowing the people with the power to tell us what to do. No, it is time for us to say what we don't want. Even write it in on the ballot. If they don't put it there, write it in. Colonialism has played everyone. You won't know what to do if we're not fighting and headbutting because of we fighting over how to say the word. Do you know the spirit behind the word is what I'm saying. I don't care how you say it. Do you know the spirits? Do you know the muffin man that stays on Drury Lane? How about we find ways to have conversations that cause a pause to see life differently in all areas? This will cause us to quit blaming somebody else. You. And then we look in the mirror and I made that decision. Yes, we make our decision on a daily basis. We can only meet people where we are truly met ourselves. Remember that next time when you said you want a real relationship, it requires you to take off your mask, put it on the table, and not bring your representative because nobody wants to see them. We have so many adults who were never taught how to feel safe, so they seek safety and validation outside of themselves because of a plethora of challenges that occurred in childhood processes. So I asked you, what emotion from your childhood pushed you in a corner? And caused you to make a vow to never do this or never do that. You know, never is a vow. How many nevers have you said? I had to call some stuff back, and I'm gonna say it again. I call it back. Now I call crop failure on it. Now and I loose the blood of Jesus and I loose the hand of God, and I call myself right back in the right standing. That's what you gotta do. You gotta call a crop failure on there. You can't even let it grow. Okay. Cause see, we mad at our elders, and they did the best they could. They ain't had a bandwidth. They lost 10 of their superheroes. They lost JFK, then MLK, then Malcolm X, and then there was so many others who was sacrificed. I mean, taken out. They lost their Black Panthers, and they were just, some of them was just 21. They were just babies. And they bust up in the house and just shot them point blank in the head for no reason. Child. Because they was looking for the black Messiah. But you said we ain't nothing. That's what you said. So you know who we are, don't you? See, the vows we all made is playing out on the big stage. If you see it over there, it's over here too. Because I had to call myself out. I said, you trying to control the situation. I said, ugh. I was trying to control it. I was. And I had to call myself out and sit still and be quiet for a minute. While we get to process and speak our minds. See, I see mine too. I'm honest with mine. Are we going to help that little girl, the little boy on the inside of us here? We like, let me out of this basement. I got something to say. That's your true shadow. I'm being commissioned to aid in the process by sharing how I overcame everything meant to keep me from coming into my true identity. I had to believe in myself and God. See, God is on the inside of me, but first I had to find me. Why is that bothering you? Why is it hindering you? Why is that triggering you? We're taught that God is on the outside of us. But God is on the inside waiting to be paired into our battles. 2 Corinthians 10 and Ephesians 6 says the same thing. We're fighting principalities and rulers of the darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places. Remember, we're spirits first. This is that negative thinking that is going on so long in society that it's the norm. And Jesus broke it down like this. Buddha broke it down like this. Hecate broke it down like this. Hare Krishna broke it down like this. Kali Ma broke it down like this. Your traditions are making the word of God of no effect. It's amazing how they all said the same thing. They all said the same thing. They all said it. They all said the same thing. So it don't matter what you claim to be your religion. They all said the same thing, honey bunch. They all said the same thing. You're making the word of God of no effect with your tradition. Confirmation, but instead of listening to what the word says and then you getting on a pulpit or you getting behind a holy book board and you changing what it says because you didn't like what it says when you read it in your prayer time because it called you out. And instead of dealing with yourself, I'm just saying, because I got called out today. And you see me calling my own self out. I ain't trying to turn this around and try to make me all of that, because it is what it is. This is what every ascended master had to fight against, as you heard me calling them all out. Even the orrery. You making the word of God with the orreries of no effect because you want to do it your way, and the ancestors are saying do it this way. And you pouring out your libations, and you still trying to do it your way. The mindset of us who complain but don't want to do the work or don't know how to do the work, and it causes a dip in morale. Most can't get out because it's ancestral or generational. So to get out, it requires one to get uncomfortable, to get past the plateau of complacency or complicitness. The minute you get in complicity, I don't know what side I'm choosing. You already chose one. And you said, well, this is where we already done it. You just chose a side. And you against God. So that's where you stand. So when are we going to respect each other? Yes, the FBAs was here first. But we also know that everybody's life is important. As long as you are human, your life is important. No matter what they say, even though they treated us like trash, every human being is important. They held us down because they knew if we ever got on top, it was, what are you willing to bring to life? What you truly believe? I'm going to ask you this. What you truly believe? Are you willing to stake your life on it and bring it to pass? Let's do it. You can change the world with the one thing you do to light up this whole world. Be like a superstar. Fight for your dream while hurting none. God said you can build whatever you want as long as you hurt nobody and hurt yourself. We've learned a lot in the last few weeks, almost a whole month. What they did to Miss Good and Alex. Do what is right for you. Nobody lives your life but you. Be sovereign, don't be controlled. Think for yourself and use critical thinking and protect those that can't or don't know how to protect themselves. Do so. Bring your dream to life no matter what you see in front of you. May the force be with you as you go, and may the power of God be in your heart as you go forward. Okay. I just have to do that for myself. There are some freebies and a link to my the podcast that I did in May with Women's Leveling Up. There were magazines I was in September, October, December, January, and February. I was on the cover in February. Look at the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I cannot wait to talk to you soon. Remember, I placed my link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. Let's read an excerpt. Page 51. Be patient. Oh, let's read the excerpt. The process of change takes everything you have to do it. Even more when I wanted to give up because I didn't see what I wanted immediately. Sometimes I move before my time and cause myself more headaches than blessings. I also learned not to ask God for this gift. Don't ask for that. Because everything will be tested. What are you applying your patience to? Woo! You ask for patience, I promise you will get it. You will get situations where things will just test you from every angle. Honey. No man, and don't forget about my other two books, Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace and Unstoppable Change. Honey, both of those are shadow activity books. No matter what your background, let me tell you something. I said, God, I don't see stuff where you can work with your inner child and you can be interactive with the book. God would say, well, make it. I said, well, say less. So you get a word of knowledge, and then you get a exercise. And exercise, you get to run around the house, have fun, just in case you become in solitude by yourself. God is raising you up, and you can have so much fun in this book. It's so much to do. And number 3 is a shadow question. That's gonna because it's going to be right in your face. Everything going to be right in your face. Okay? And then when you get done with your shadow question, go over a few pages and you're going to have a color page. God asked me to keep it between the age of 5 and 10. Why? Because most childhood wounding happens between the age of 5 and 10. Okay. By the age of 7, it is solidified in the system. By the age of 10, it is really in the system. By the age of 21 and 25, it is now your responsibility to walk out. Because 21 and 25, we think we know everything and don't know Nathan. Okay, we know Nathaniel hot dogs. We don't know Nathan. Okay, honey. And then the fifth thing you get is 4 pages. It's 22 chapters per book. It's 4 pages to draw, sketch, doodle, whatever you want to do. Write in your dreams, visions, because the closer you get to God, you start having them Stranger Things moment, those X-Files moment, those the Twilight Zone moment, those moments you can't explain, you just can't. There's a whole bunch of synchronicity. Oh, I done had so much synchronicity today. It's so much synchronicity that you just like, whoa, that, okay, yeah. Okay, it's so much going, and people can be standing right there with you, talking, oh, you just made it up. You just saw me take this picture. That's why don't sit here and waste your voice trying to explain stuff to people who just saw you take the picture, see what you see, and still don't want to believe, because if they believe, that means they have to say that God exists. So, don't forget about my other 2 books. It's already on New York Times bestseller list. Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. And Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. No matter what your background, God don't care about your background. God know everything about you. He still loves you. God know what you did last summer. God know everything. He know every hair on your head. He know everything. Even if you got peace funds, God know what you did in the booth, in the back, in the dark, and He still love you 100%. Notebooks and journals for all, coloring books that help and meditate and recalibrate the mind. I'm excited about this venture. Why? Because I have a whole catalog on Amazon. Just type my name up, RenettaCheston, you see a whole catalog. But on my special store, you have stuff to walk out step by step, how to walk out of the deepest, darkest holes in your life. The stuff you too ashamed to talk about, honey. That's what I'm talking about. When you dealing with the Thanos of the spirit realm. Don't forget to look at the link of the 105 spiritual laws that govern the earth. Don't forget, we're no longer underneath the Mosaic law. We're under love and grace. Also, don't forget to sign up for the newsletter for the juicy updates and upcoming events. It's going to be a lot of events, honey. Get in, get in the know, and get to know before everybody else. Okay. Don't forget about your Adjective and 400 Values PDF. Put them together, change your whole Sims character to this Sims game that we in, okay? Because it ain't nothing but a hologram. Change it. Be who you want to be. I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it. Come on, nice. Look at the new link for the school app. I got things started over there. Come and visit with me. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who of 2025. Influential Women 2025. Honey. And women worldwide. I was on a mission at the end of 2025 and I took it all because I'm worthy of it. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Okay. Don't come after me. And look at the black I received in 2017. Ooh, child. 2017 was a year. Man, everything was coming up. Man, I was fighting for my life and received that. Child, there was a lot going on in 2017. I was glad when 2018 came in, when I was still fighting, child. Woo, that's what all this is about. Finishing up what happened in 2018. Child, let me tell you, I was helping women and teenage girls come out of sex trafficking, and I had a lot of people helping, but they left me to go help somebody with a bigger name doing the same thing. God said, let them go. And then I was helping teenage girls that came out and said they were LGBTQAI, and came out and said they were pregnant. Their parents kicked them out. I was like, we're in the wrong state for that. I picked them up, took them, I told them they can go to the teen center, or they could stay in the building where I was at. And a lot of them wanted to go to the teen center so they could be around their own. And then I was helping in domestic violence, women, and we lost 2 of them because they went back more than once. Let me tell you, everybody's addicted to something. Some people are addicted to smoking cigarettes, and they smoking the cigarette while sniffing oxygen. I've seen it more than once, men and women. And then I've seen people go to the emergency room because they got the nausea and all that thing that comes from smoking weed. The doctor give them medicine, they take the medicine, they go right back smoking the weed. Why they taking the medicine? Everybody's addicted to something. And then I know people that go to the gym, up to 2 to 5 times a day. Then I know people that work out 2 to 5 times a day because they're addicted to it. They like looking good. They're addicted to it. I don't judge nobody. You know why? Because if I judge you, I gotta be judged too. That means I gotta put all my stuff on the table and, honey, I got my own stuff. I ain't got time to be looking at you. Because I got my own stuff. Alright, I'm always working on my own stuff. I ain't got time to look at you. So when you think I'm looking at you, I'm over here with my back turned to you, working on me. That's what I be doing. Okay. Seeing what the end gonna be, child, like the old folks used to say. Child, and I was helping people that lost everything in house fires or floods. People knew I had a nonprofit, so they would always give it to me, child. I loved it. They were always giving me stuff. They would give me beds and mattresses and couches. And they were almost new, but I would take them things and clean them up with a vacuum cleaner, sucking everything out, and I would clean up the couches and stuff, because if I'm going to give this to somebody else, it's going to have to look new. I'm not finna get no trash to nobody. You hear what I'm saying? I'm going to clean up all the stuff. I'm going to wash it up good. I'm going to take care of it, because ain't nobody got time to be giving no bed bugs to nobody. Okay, child, I went there and cleaned it up and cleaned it real good and sprayed stuff down and put it in the storage unit. Child, I was working hard to make sure that when it was given to somebody, it looked like good stuff. You hear what I'm saying? People will come, I say, how many rooms you need? And they tell me, I say, I'm going to take what you need because other people are coming. I would give them toiletries. I would give the women toiletries. And I would also give the women the monthly toiletries. And I gave them pheno pods remover to help them relax. Because you can't paint nails shaking like this. That means you got to come out of the shock mode to let your nervous system come down. And once your nervous system come down, then you can think. And once you can think, you can move. And once you can move, now you back into the game, baby. Get back into the game. Honey, and then I helped this young lady out for Thanksgiving. I was putting on social media. I just wanted to help people for Thanksgiving. I said, I just want to help 2 families for Thanksgiving. If somebody needs some help, do not hesitate to inbox me. She inboxed and I need some help. I said, well, say less. I went to honey baked ham. That's my budget. Okay, because I was working alone. That's my budget. Went to honey baked ham. Made sure they receive 100, and also they receive honey baked ham and receive $150 worth of groceries. So while they was looking for another job that they had to worry about taking care of the children. Then I found out some more people finna go through this, put their name in a bowl, pull the name out. Boop. Honey, went ahead and got their children. It was Christmas, so I gave their children, I had to work with what I had. Gave their children 2 gifts each. And then I gave them honey baked ham, but I showed something different. And then I made sure that they received $150 worth of groceries. And then I helped out 2 women to go to therapy. I gave them 3 to 6 months of therapy. And then I also paid for $250 or $150 worth of groceries. You can see what I did up there on my website at Refuge Women's Transition Center, or go to www.rwtcharlie.org and see what I was doing. I didn't take pictures of the teens or the women because that was putting my life in danger. Plus the teens, I knew their parents, and I just didn't want to deal with that rigmarole and the fallout. I just didn't want to do that. I just didn't want that. And then they tell me, why you helping so and so, child? That ain't my thing. That ain't my thing to put people's business out there in the street, because that's just not my thing. I'm not messy like that. Okay. I'm glad God doesn't forget the things you do without fanfare. God said whatever you do in private, He'll reward you in public. And I'm so grateful for that, because God is faithful, and I'm thankful for everything. I am. I'm not messy. I'm not going to put nobody's stuff out on the street. No matter what people say about me, I'm not messy. Don't forget to look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company that I use with all natural remedies for the assistance. In 2017, I was given a diagnosis of breast cancer. So while I was helping all these people, I was fighting for my life. And I said, if this is going to be it, I'm going to help as many people as I can before I leave here. Okay. That's what you do to make the enemy man. You and the sister man. You say, I'm going to help as many as I can before I leave up out of here. I didn't take no cancer treatments. I ain't do no ports. I ain't do none of that mess. I said, I'm finna live and not die. Honey, I don't care what you saying. I'm not finna be leaving up out of here how you said I'm leaving up out of here. Sometimes you're going to have to fight. And you're going to have to fight for real. You have to change your mind to fight. Honey, them doctors were telling me, don't you sit? I said, I see it, but if I agree with it, my cells is going to take me up out of here, and I ain't got time for that. So I said, I bind up every disease, every germ, every bacteria, every growth, every tumor, every growth, every parasite, and I curse it to the root, and I send it back to the pit of hell from whence it came. Hell ain't nothing but a freeze. And I said, I loose the blood of Jesus, and I loose the hand of God. And I said, I put it back on me because I ate the food. Yes, they poisoned the food because the same people that poisoned the food is the same people that was getting people addicted to cigarettes. They decided to take over the foods. They were putting them same chemicals they put in cigarettes in the food. We didn't know that, but that's what they was doing. And it's time to go ahead and charge them too. All right. We're trying to hold everybody accountable for all this mess they've been doing for all these years. Put us in the hospital for us to get cancer. And then tell them they ain't got no cure for cancer, but we're quick to give us some for that vaccine real quick. Okay, and lost all them people. It's time to hold them people accountable for genocide. That's what it's trying to do. And they say it ain't so, but it is. Child. Then I went home, talked to God. God said to get a naturopathic doctor. Got a naturopathic doctor. And pulled out everything that Dr. Sebi said. Showed it to my naturopathic doctor. Naturopathic doctor said, great. But your blood type right there saying you can't have 5 things on each list. That's fine. We good. Child. When my ancestors said, go outside, get that dandelion, get that morning glory. You can, okay. And then that wild scales, I put that on top. Because let me tell you something. If our ancestors lived as long as they live, and some of them are centurions, okay? Honey, they just leaving here at 95, 85. Y'all ain't nobody playing with y'all. And they lived up the land because they ain't had no choice. And then, post salad like lettuce and cilantro and a baby together and serrated around the edges. Y'all, I put it on top of that spinach underneath that jasmine rice wilted it. And then, child, and then it went in that chlorophyll went in my system and started healing me from the inside out. Child, I'm still here and I'm so grateful. I was putting seafood on the top because the seafood for your omega-3 oils instead of just taking that vitamin, eat some of that. Because if you don't let your food be your medicine is gonna be your food. Then, honey, I also made sure I was putting beets and everything because the beets is for the iron. And I was pickling my own beets. Child, yes I was. And pickling my own pickles. I got some pickles back there right now. Because I done ate up all the beets. Then I had fresh beets. I would cut them up and put them inside the refrigerator, Ziploc bags, and put them inside my smoothie. Say it ain't so. Honey, I'm so thankful to God that I'm still here. Father God, I thank you that I'm still here. I thank you for loving me, keeping me, protecting me. I thank you even for correcting me. Because when you corrected me, that means you love me. Because you could have did me like Romans 1 and give me over to a reprobate mind and help me figure it out by myself. Child, I ain't gonna be in the corner in a fetal position sucking on my thumb because I ain't got God. No, God don't let me go. Woo! God ain't finished with me yet, and I'm still in it. Lord, I thank you. I thank you, Father. They said we were disenfranchised and we were the lesser. No, we ain't got. They told us to pull ourselves out of our bootstraps, and we did, and they came and took our shoes and everything. They took everything that we had. Took our land, burned everything down to the ground, put it underneath the water, everything, and thought we were going to quit, because that's what would have made them quit. I hope you're ready for what's coming, because when God go ahead and he flip that switch, I hope you're ready for what's coming. You see, God said that he was going to judge. We ain't got nothing to do with that. This is God judging. Child, Lord have mercy. And then God said, don't worry about it. They took your shoes, keep going and go over there and get that bamboo and go ahead when you take out them animals, the bear and the hide and the venison, go ahead and take them shoes, make you some shoes and shoestrings. We said we'll say last. Honey, I just want to say thank you for being here. I want to say thank you for listening to the message because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here. And I love you in the love of the Lord, and I see nothing but a blessing that you are protected, that you keep going with God, that you don't let go of God's hand, no matter what you see, no matter what happens. Shed them tears and keep going. I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It'll truly help my channel. And I love you in the love of the Lord, and thank you so very much for being here. Have a great evening. Good night.